These days, if you don't live near the waves, you can make them. We're joining up with a team of landlocked surfers on a mission.
It's winter in the Alberta Rockies.
Man, mountains look so good today.
And these two are out for some unusual fun. As the sun sets and the mountains grow dark, Neil Egsgard and Jacob Quinlan are joined by other thrill seekers on the shore of the Kananaskis River.
With what we're doing, it's tough enough in the daytime. At nighttime, the risks increase dramatically.
They're waiting for the barrier hydro plant to let the river water flow. When it does, it's time to surf.
It's intense, it's scary, it's exciting.
Neil and a small group of diehard enthusiasts are river surfing, a sport that brings the coastal thrill inland.
I've always wanted to surf ever since I was really, really young, but I never had an opportunity, never lived by an ocean.
It's all about taking advantage of what's available and then making it better.
River surfing develops whatever you have, really two things. You need a surfer and a wave.
Conditions at the barrier hydro plant are just right. When the dam makes power, the water flows.
We have to surf whenever the flow is going. If the river's flowing, we're surfing. If that's at nighttime, we're here.
At nighttime, the air temperature can drop well below freezing. Not a problem for these dedicated surfers.
The water is as cold as water can get. The only reason it's not freezing is because it's moving. We can surf in the water because we have good wetsuits. It can be -20 and you can surf safely if you're experienced and you have the right gear.
To get great rideable waves, they modified the river so that water builds up and is properly channeled.
This is the main berm. What the berm's doing is it's creating the higher water upstream, and it's creating the energy for the wave. You have the channel in the middle, and the width of the channel determines how deep or how thick the water is going over the wave. Just downstream of the channel, that's where the wave forms.
Though some river waves occur naturally, this one had to be built, which started with a long list of government and environmental approvals.
Then you have to get a good design together, submit them to the governments for the approvals, and then you can start going forwards with your work. For their last build, we did an environmental study which took a look at the effect of all of the construction. I took a look at all the materials that we were using,
including the heavy machinery necessary to get large pieces of rock into position.
Each of these rocks will weigh anywhere from a ton to 5 tons. In order to get them down to the river, you need really heavy machinery. So we load them onto a rock truck, and it drives down into the river, up to the locations, and it dumps the rocks into the river.
Then an excavator placed the rocks one by one.
In order to mitigate the effects of the machine, the number one thing that we do is we minimize the amount that they're in the river. Number two is that all of those machines have all of their oil replaced with biodegradable oil.
Because the water flow is often reduced to a trickle, the riverbed is unfit for spawning fish. But fish still need to get through. The wave design allows them easy passage upstream.
There's been studies over the past couple of decades looking at fish passage, and fish have always been able to go past what we're building.
Jacob Quinlan has surfed all over the world, both river and ocean.
In terms of man-made waves, this wave is quite remarkable. We're really working on building a world-class wave here, and just seeing what we've already been able to do just in this river gives me chills of what's possible here.
And on this night, the water and the wave are irresistible.
So bringing people out to nature gets them to care about it. And that's one of the big things about the wave that we're building out there, is that people are surrounded by nature, they see the clean water, and they feel and understand what that means.
For Neil and his fellow surfers, this is only the beginning.
What we want to do is take the wave that we have and make it bigger, and we want to make more of them. We want to build waves for beginners, waves for intermediates, and we want to develop the best wave in the world.